Freddie Mercury was a British singer, songwriter, and the lead artist of the rock and roll band Queen. He was inclined towards music from a very young age, and according to acquaintances, he had the ability to play any song the tune on the piano. After singing for a few short-lived bands, he formed his own music group called Queen, along with musicians Brian May and Roger Taylor. Mercury was born Farrokh Bulsara on September 5, 1946, in Zanzibar. Mercury's parents, Bomi and Jer Bulsara, were Parsees, or followers of the Zoroastrian religion, whose ancestors came from Persia. After Bomi and Jer married, they moved to Zanzibar, Tanzania, where Bomi worked as a cashier for the British government's High Court. The family lived a fairly affluent life with a nanny and other domestic workers. Mercury's sister, Kashmira, was born in 1952. At the age of 8, Mercury's parents sent him to a boarding school in Bombay, now Mumbai, India, where he studied piano and spent his free time with his aunt and grandparents. It was not long before the charismatic young man joined his first band, the Hectics. In 1963, Mercury returned to Zanzibar. Following a bloody revolution on the islands in 1964, the family fled to London. Mercury attended the Ealing College of Art and befriended a number of musicians. In 1969, Mercury joined a group called Ibex as their lead singer. He played with a few other bands before joining forces with his future Queen bandmates. Mercury was born with 4 extra teeth in the back of his mouth, causing his now famous Bucktooth Grin. In fact, his nickname growing up was Bucky. Mercury never got his teeth fixed because he was afraid it would ruin his impressive 4-octave vocal range. Influenced by the hard-edged, blues-based style of rock acts such as Cream and Jimi Hendrix, Bulsara began singing with bands in London. He also became friends with guitarist Brian May and drummer Roger Taylor of the band Smile, and in 1970, when Smile's lead singer quit, Bulsara replaced him. He soon changed the group's name to Queen and his own to Freddie Mercury. Bassist John Deacon joined the following year. Incorporating elements of both heavy metal and glam rock, the band debuted on record with Queen 1973, which was followed by Queen 2 1974. Despite an impressive blend of majestic vocal harmonies and layered virtuosic guitar work, Queen initially failed to attract much notice beyond the United Kingdom. The album Sheer Heart Attack 1974, however, shut off the international charts, and A Night at the Opera 1975 sold even better. The band's ambitious approach to both songwriting and studio production was epitomized by the latter album's mock operatic single Bohemian Rhapsody, one of a number of Queen compositions written principally by Mercury. The song spent 9 weeks atop the British singles chart, and its accompanying promotional film helped the music industry recognize its future in video. Spectacular success followed in 1977 with We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You, which became ubiquitous anthems at sporting events in Britain and the United States. By the early 1980s, Queen had become an international phenomenon, drawing particular attention for its elaborately staged performances in enormous venues. Strutting the stage in outrageous costumes, Mercury effortlessly commanded audiences in the tens of thousands. Although Queen's commercial fortunes had begun to wane by mid-decade, the band arguably reached its apotheosis as a live act with a stellar performance at the charity concert Live Aid in 1985. That same year, Mercury released the solo record Mr. Bad Guy, which took musical inspiration from disco. Mercury later appeared on the soundtrack of Dave Clark's science fiction musical Time, 1986, and teamed with Spanish soprano Montserrat Caballé for the semi-operatic album Barcelona, 1988. In 1991, Mercury announced that he had been diagnosed with AIDS. He died a day later from complications related to the disease. Until shortly before his death, Mercury had continued to record with Queen, and it was posthumously featured on the band's final album, Made in Heaven, 1995. His time with Queen was dramatized in the blockbuster film Bohemian Rhapsody, 2018. Although Rami Malek won an Academy Award for his performance as Mercury in the movie, Bohemian Rhapsody was criticized for its sanitized presentation of Mercury's complicated life, particularly his sexual fluidity.